Welcome to our preview for racing at Turffontein. We're on the stand-side track, and of course the top liner will be the Victory Moon Stakes Grade 3, the 2025 renewal, and a few Summer Cup aspirants are going to be strutting their stuff, hoping to get in. Now hopefully history doesn't repeat itself and the weather does intervene. Hopefully yesterday was a case of the weather having its say, and we should hopefully be up and running for Sunday's race meeting. It is a 9-race program commencing with that first of 9 at 12, but we are going to commence our preview with race 2, which is off at 20 to 1. It is the start of the Byport Betway Maiden Plate, courtesy of Betway. The distance is 1160, and just having a look at a betting guide for this particular race, it is the colors of the Berners family. No, I beg your pardon. That should be the colors of the 5, Bridget Ann, on the favorite. Let us just confirm. And that will be the mount of Gavin Arena, who rode it last time out when it was having its second run over the 1,000 meters, as yet to go beyond the 1,000 meters. And in fact, Tony Peters' horse is going to be favored at 4 to 1, 9 to 2 by the 3 Inspiration. And then only Bridget Ann at 9 to 2, along with Ruby from Heaven, 9 to 2. Now, Ruby from Heaven is the first timer from the De Kock stable. Good morning, Mr. Marie.
Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. Good to be with you.
Likewise, thank you.
Right. So, Bridget Ann, sprint pedigree. In fact, the sibling, there's one sibling that just made a habit of winning over the 1,000 to 1,100 in Quebec, was certainly a superstar for the late Gavin Smith. That is Vegas Gold. Won 8, and they were off distances of 1,000 to 1,100 meters. The mother, don't know too much about the mother, Burchett.
Vegas Gold, Hollywood Bets.
Hollywood Bets.
Hollywood Racing Syndicate. Thanks to Matt and Mark De Kock, sponsored by Betway.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a comment for the unraced filly.
Ruby from Heaven, in the colors of Mr. Jason Murugasa and family.
Yeah, so there's not much confidence from the yard. They're saying she's a very green and immature filly, and she's been showing work that probably will need further in time to come, and this race will bring her on. Not saying she can't win, but they're not overly bullish. So let's see how she goes. Now, I'm not happy with the form lines of number 5, Bridget Ann. Her last start, let me just pull it up for you. 7 runners, all 7 unplaced in their next start. Her debut run, no winners from that form line yet. So yes, she has been off the track for a few months and she could have benefited from that. But I think she would have had to improve substantially to trouble the judge over here. So let's see how she goes. If you want to go wider in the opening leg of the bar pot, she's probably an inclusion. I've bankered the Sean Terry trained number 3 Inspiration. Now on paper there's absolutely nothing separating Inspiration, Hat Highway to the Sky, and Maria LaGuardia.
Or Vamanos, who won well that day.
Very well.
Mm-hmm.
And at the weights you're going to be favouring Hat Highway to the Sky because of the claiming apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think Hat Highway to the Sky, from what I saw, is going to be better over further. Whereas Inspiration, last time out in her second run after layoff, she came out and Craig took a hold of her and she was placed towards the back of the field, and then she moved in swiftly going through the 400 and she only emptied out late. I think that race ought to have brought her on substantially, and this time round I'm hoping she pings the gates because she's going to strip much fitter, and I can actually see her going start to finish over here. So I've taken my chances in the opening leg of the bar pots. I am bankering number 3 Inspiration. She is my number 1 choice. If I don't banker her, I have to include Hat Highway to the Sky, Maria LaGuardia, and Bridget Ann. So not for me. Banker number 3, in or out.
Thank you very, very much. And that will be an outlay of 200 Rand if you had to add that. The other 2 horses, or 3 horses, you're looking at about 800 Rand at the outlay. In or out in the first leg of that bipod, off time 12:40. Sunday afternoon racing continues with race number 3 at the Big T. We are on the stand-side track for a Betway Maiden over the 1,400 meters. And of course, talking about Betway, hopefully your app will be up and running, be it via mobile or on your laptop. And of course, you can easily top up your account courtesy of that blue voucher that is easily accessible at most convenience outlets. So do take that in mind if you're coming from your chores. Buy a little backup, and you will be sure to be in the winner's queue if you've chosen the right one. In this instance, Mr. Marie, Taskmaster is the favorite and quite short at 6-4. And then you got the first timer in the Hollywood Silks. Matthew and Mike have sent out Dawson's Anvil, quite well related, a 3-year-old son of Rafif, and that is at 8-5, 32-10, the 1 Milan's World. It is 12s and better bar those. Now, you've got a comment about Dawson's Anvil. The sibling was out of a William Longsword. This is a Rafif.
Yes, related to Douglas Dragon. And the dam ran third in the grade 3 flamboyance. She was a miler, 1800 meter at her best, thereabouts. But the word from the Yardies, and once again, thanks to Matthew and Mark de Kock, sponsored by Betway. Number 6, Dawson's Anvil. 1400 is a nice starting point for him. He might need it slightly. However, he certainly has the ability to run into the money. So, obviously, he's showing decent work back at home. I don't think the form on offer here is overly strong. So, if he's got ability, I can see him making a winning debut.
You remind me of a movie, sorry. I was watching a drama thriller. Courtroom drama thriller, and they said, you must listen out, not for what they say, but what they don't say.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's touch on number 1 from the top, Milan's World.
Lightly raced, eh?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's cost me a few rand this horse, and I don't think he's one to rely on, but he was off the track for a year. And his comeback effort, he only found Ice Dragon too good for him on that occasion. Now, Ice Dragon didn't frank that form. However, he broke through the pens. So you can put a line through that. The balance of the form line hasn't worked out. But obviously, Mr. Terry was happy with the individual because he took it over in his own care. He owns the horse now. So I respect him. But like I said, not one to put the wagers on. Number 7, Taskmaster. Master. He improved as a gelding. If you have a look at the computer form, it says he was 7 lengths behind with 400 meters to go. And then got beat 2.5 lengths. On paper, it appears as if he was running on all the way to the finish. But that's not the case. I don't think that's right. With 100 meters to go, he was within a length of the winner. And then started to fade in the latter stages. So he was desperately in need of that start. He will strip fitter. Just the concern is, the horse who finished second in that race was Battle of the Bulge, and he didn't bring the strongest form into that race. Now, the interesting runner has to be the filly. For Trent, who was probably going to ride his 50th winner on Thursday with Hazy Daisy. But yeah, he gets a nice opportunity aboard Total Eruption. Have a look at that debut effort. I know her last start was disappointing, but she does have excuses. This time around, she's got the best draw around the bend. Her debut effort, she was beaten by Perfect Miracle. Perfect Miracle won by 6 lengths. Lost for Words finished second in that race. She's won twice since then, and then Quiet Winter's also won since then. So if you're willing to put a line through her second run, she could be much better than that, and she could feature over here. Like I said, I'm not sure of the race. I don't think the form on offer is that strong. Let's try treble up.
1, 6, 7, and 9 will be the horses that will aid you to possibly treble up in the very first leg. 320 rand is the outlay to that PA, and take note of the off time to race 3, 13, 10. All right, so it is the big one, as friends would say. It is the start of the Pick 6. It is a Pinnacle Stakes, a Betway Pinnacle Stakes over the 1160, and they should be off at 13:45. A field of 7 runners, very, very capable runners. Obviously, looking at this field of Mr. Marie, you would say that it is runners preparing for a bigger fish to fry. But no doubt about your favourite, who recently came home with the goods from KZN. That is Buffalo Storm Cody at 9-20, reunited with the returning Mr. Gavin Larena. William Robertson, well, went on eventually to go and win the computer form sprint. Again, took this similar route last year, 11-2. Number 6, Fire and Flames, 8-1. It is 17-2 and better. That is just a guide as to what sort of betting, but no doubt Buffalo Storm Cody will be very, very skinny in the odds.
and deservedly so. Now, strictly on the ratings, one's going to say that shouldn't be the case because Buffalo and William Robertson are joint best weighted here. But Buffalo had that comeback, and it wasn't a race for him. He was cantering behind them just off the pace. Richard had to ease him. He quickened on his own, and Richard didn't even have to ask him for an effort. So that was a lovely, lovely return for him. It just would have built his confidence so much because he didn't even have to get a smack. It was such an eye-catching performance. Whereas William Robertson, we all know that he's going to love this thing out the ground, and he's really at his best up the turffontein straight over 1160. He's returning after 3.5 months. And just based on that fact, we have to be leaning towards Buffalo Storm Cody. I'm not looking past him. Great Tricks, I mean, what a disappointment. We've been waiting months for this horse. He's come back and he's hardly beat a horse home. Very disappointing. Now they're trying to tongue tie with him. I don't know if he's ever going to see the breeding barns as a sire, but if he doesn't perform anywhere near the ability that the connections believe he has, I think he may just get the uncut of all, because I don't know, he's not been really attractive as a sire at this stage. So I don't know. Yeah, Bankina won Buffalo Storm Cody. I loved that effort last time out, and it really must have put a smile on all the connections' faces.
Yeah, that is the pick six. It is Banker the one. And interesting about William Robertson, I said, took the similar route last year. And in fact, in this very race, was beaten by a certain Dice, who's not quite come back to form since that gelding. But by the sounds of it, has been showing enough to say that the real Dice is underneath there somewhere. William Robertson will be having a 47th outing, and this Trent, how many times has he ridden the horse? He's ridden it 5 times for 2 wins and a second, so certainly will be worthy competition. The first leg of the pick six, 13:45. Right, our first feature on the afternoon is a listed Betway National Colour Stakes. Is over the 1,000 meters, and again it will see Gavin on the favourite. No, he's not actually on the favourite. That is very interesting. It is actually the lightly raced Alpine Jet who is topping the boards. Muzi Yeni retains ride for the Janse van Vuren stable. And then you've got the likes of Frozen Fantasy, that is Robin Klaassen and Callan Murray, also contesting for that winner's take to Komati River. 1,000 meters, loves the 1,000. And then only Almond Sea. And if you are an Almond Sea fan, 6 to 1 or thereabouts is the price about Almond Sea. Right, so Almond Sea ran in a contest on this particular day last year, in this particular meeting once again. History has a way of repeating itself. But if you recall, because of the meeting being postponed, lots of scratchings, and so everything was just higgledy-piggledy.
Yes, and the fact that you pointed that out is the reason why I'm not including her today, because it's still part of her preparation.
Yes.
But I'm just so disappointed with this filly in that she still gives herself, puts herself on the back foot from the jump.
Yeah.
She still continues to give away starts, and then over race. I want her to have one more run.
Yeah.
I want her to break well first and foremost, and have one more run, and then next time out we'll see her at her best, hopefully. Now Alpine Jet, obviously Gavin can't do 52, but Muzi got to feel what she's about last time out, and she won with a bit in hand. Lovely filly, 1,000 meters, turffontein, ideal. I mean, the only thing, she comes into this race under sufferance. But you can't read too much into that. Here's a filly that's only been to the track on 3 occasions. So yes, she is thrown in the deep end of a year, but she can most certainly swim. So I'm not reading into the fact that she's 3.5 kilograms under sufferance. I'm just reading into the fact that she's ahead of the handicapper. I think she's got a strong winning chance. I backed her up with number 9, Roaming Spirit. Now this filly appreciated some time off the track. Very, very impressive winner on the inside track, quickening past them, beating Don't Shoot the Barman. Last time out, unfortunate. She found some trouble at a crucial stage. She's got fitness on her side now. She loves a little bit of sting out the ground, and she's drawn towards the outside. Another one that comes into this race under sufferance. She's 2.5 kilograms under sufferance. But I just want to touch on something, Says. Look who trains number 6, Dean Smith.
Yes, he's Insta-worthy. I was going to ask you about that.
And we welcome him on the high felts.
Indeed. Wish him many, many winners.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I fancy your chances on Sunday? No, I don't, but I wish him all the best. And please come visit us more often.
Right, so those are the words, the sagacious words of William Shakespeare Marie. He does reckon that Alpine Jet, I don't know whether he meant it in the manner that I took it, the Alpine Jet can certainly swim, given the weather. We'll need swim to swim as well. That's 5 and 9 in that first leg. 960 Rand is the outlay to that first jackpot, and that is race 5, due off at 14.20. Right, we get into our second feature. It is the listed Betway Summer Pudding Handicap. It's over the 1,600 meters and it is open. Just looking at the guide, it's three-way likely favoritism. Come Sunday, 11 to 2 are the likes of the Raider from the Gareth and Sales stable. That is Tomiris. You've got Selenia Peninsula, also vying for favoritism, and Sukhumvit of My Sea is made value bet in the computer form for race 6, and that is by Mr. Brendan Gaylord. And thereafter at 6 to 1, that is Gerbera, 7 rather, and then the 1 Kisoten is at 7 to 1. Mocha Blend, it will be interesting to see what Mocha Blend is. That is also at 7 to 1, 9 to 1, and better bar those. Baquena's at 9 to 1, by the way.
Difficult races. I went the entire field in my jackpot and pick 6. I think the pace will be genuine. You got the likes of Two Step Queen, who's super fit.
Quick turnaround, huh?
Yeah, Mr. Gray backs her up quite soon a week later. Yeah, I mean, that race was run on soft conditions, and she just led from pillar to post. She's effective from 1450 to 1800. I've thrown her in, but have a look at her penultimate start when she was beaten by Baquena. Baquena's even 1.5 kilos better off. Yeah. So on paper, Baquena's going to confirm that form. Now, Baquena won with a bit in hand last time out. You know, since day dot, they've always rated this fairly highly. I think you even mentioned that to me.
Well, basically, I was going to say maybe the dots are joining up the dots here. Keegan wrote it, and he said, well, it was literally an armchair ride. And the dogs were barking when we got to the course that this horse is working well.
Yeah, and then obviously Mr. Van Vuuren put her in some features last season, and she never acquitted herself well. He put her away, and gave her 2 sprints, stepped up to 1,500 again last time out, and Craig won with a bit in hand. Yeah. Muzi, I'm sure, is going to be told, give her a chance, because the way she finished the race last time out, I don't think you want to change those tactics. So give her a chance, get her to relax, and let her produce a similar finish. Gavin's aboard Selenia Peninsula. He gets down to 55 for her. She's had a nice preparation leading into this race, and she's cracked a nice draw. Gerbera's also had a nice prep. She's coming into this race having her 3rd run, whereas Sukhumvit's drawn out wide, having her 2nd run after race. So one will probably be swayed towards Gerbera. And then Mocha Blend. I mean, this filly, if you see her, you're only going to be of the opinion that she's going to get better with racing as she strengthens up. And last time out, it was a nice effort in that it was open company and she was returning from a layoff. I think she's got something decent in her. And Mr. Robinson's brought her to the Highveld. We've seen him raid with success.
Oh yeah, he's not lazy to raid.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, a field event, 2 horses I'm probably leaning towards are Baquena. So, no, let me make it 3. Baquena, Gerbera, and Selenia Peninsula, just because of their preparations.
Okay, and just talk about Mocha Blend. Comes in with the strongest form. If you look at that penultimate run, that's grade 3 form on Gold Cup Day. Yeah?
I want to see, I want to see her win something decent, and let's hope she's capable.
Thank you so much. That is the race number 6. 2, 4, 7, 9, and 10. That would be the number suggested for that opening leg of the Big 3, which starts at race number 6. Right, let's move on to the big one on the afternoon. It is the 2025 renewal of the Victory Moon Stakes, proudly brought to you by Betway. And that's over the 1800 meters. Money Heist is a weak favorite along with one of the contestants in this event last year. That is the Tunny Player. And they are around 5-1. The 11, the Ultimate King, will be of great interest to many. That is at around 5-1 as well. And then Legend of Arthur. Would you say that was an improvement on the form of previous? Because I think I had heard or read that there had been a few setbacks with Legend of Arthur, but they seem to have overcome them.
Lovely return last time out. He caught the eye. I think Nico even mentioned it in the commentary. Yeah, still part of his prep. I don't think he wants to pick up a penalty, yeah, but one never knows.
He's in the top 10, huh? In
Yeah.
their log.
So once again, we welcome Mr. Frank Robinson up here on the Highveld. Both his horses put up sparkling returns.
Yes.
But I know that it was over 1900 and this is over 1800. But they're not. They probably can win, but they're much better over further, aren't they? They've earned their ratings over further. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how they go. Now, the one that's joined best in over here is Money Heist. He's in cracking form. Look at that run last time out, over 14.50 on the inside track. He ran second to the ill-fated Confederate, and condolences to all the owners and Fabian Habib.
That was very sad.
Very sad.
Very sad.
But that was a great effort. His penultimate start when he won, beating Argo Alley, he had no right because he had to be eased at a crucial stage. Jeff Sester's getting a nice opportunity over here with 51 to shoulder on a very, very fit horse.
And he delivers, old Jeff. Huh?
Yeah, he does. He does. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the opportunities.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's going to grab it with both hands. Thunny Player, I've included him. Now, a horse I know who's held at the weights behind Confederate is Don't Cry For Me. But the day he won with Striker over this very same course in distance in the mud was eye-catching. I mean, he beat one on target that day, but he loved those conditions. So I've thrown him in, but he does have his work cut out. I'm suggesting a win bet on the Ultimate King. I think 5-1. I'll be having a nibble on him. He's very fit. Turffontein stand sides his game. He gave Reed all about it, 7.5 kilograms on the inside track last time out. Rachel, 52 from a neat draw. I think he's gonna run his boots off over here. I think we can't let him run loose at 5-1. I know at the ratings he has to up his game, but he is upping his game with each and every start. So yeah, the Ultimate King's my number one choice. I didn't suggest a swing or trifecta because the race does get muddled thereafter. Even a horse like Navajo Nation comes into contention. So I'm just having a small nibble. Number 11, the Ultimate King. I think we'll get a run for our money at least.
And you should get some decent value because it is a very competitive race. That is the Ultimate King in the colours of Mrs. Filune. And that is bidding for win number 5 from 10 out is Rachel Fennicker. And hopefully the Ultimate King will get that ultimate nod. And we should see the Ultimate King on the 29th of November. All right, the first jackpot concludes with the running of race number 8. And again, we have a few aspirants for that Summer Cup nod in race number 8. This is a Betway merit rated 106 handicap. It's over the 1800 meters. And we are getting to that stage on a Sunday afternoon when things are either tricky or you have already struck a gold. If not, just get that blue voucher top up and you could play that last double. Is it what we're going to be suggested by Mr. Marie? Well, let's just talk about the betting. It is again Pioneer Square last seen winning in KZN is one of the fancied runners with Alec Laird as Alec Laird's birthright also in the mix there as far as likely favoritism. That is the 5 with the 2.5 kg claiming apprentice Summer Butia aboard for Alec. Aladdin's Lamp, last time out over a distance way short of its best of 1450, now back to a more suitable trip of 1800 meters. First of all, what do you make of Aladdin's Lamp?
Yeah, he's done so well. I don't think in this sort of quality you can trouble them over 1800 because he's really a 2,400 meter horse.
Callum knows the
But
horse
what
well,
a
though.
what a race last time out. And he's so dogged in the finish. Like he comes under pressure early in his races, but he just keeps on finding. I've got the entire field in my jackpot of year because you have to give a chance to each and every one of these contestants. Tegan's Champ, wasn't it great to see some improvements in his second run after that lengthy rest? I've thrown him in. Let's see how he goes, if he can confirm that. Mastership. Now, in his penultimate start, he tried the blinkers with Musi and he was tugging fiercely. But last time out, Marco got him to settle beautifully up front and he was going away in the latter stages. However, strictly on paper, Birthright is 4 kilograms better off, and Birthright was returning from a layoff. And since then, Birthright's won. So he's now super fit. I'm not writing off Mastership because I liked what I saw last time out. Pioneer Square, what a lovely improving sport. Since being gelded, he's just gone about things in a beautiful manner and really gutsy win last time out. Course and distance ideal. The Wily Rocket, flashy Apache in the wet. Skittles cars not far behind Pioneer Square. So yes, the field, I just hope this is a way what I want to see happen, because there is going to be pace in this race. Mastership, Pioneer Square, they can both go to the front. Aladdin's Lamp's going to go handy. So can Birthright. But last time out, Birthright came from off the pace. And if this apprentice can just get him to settle behind the pace and not cut throats, with 49.5 to shoulder, I think he can go back to back. Just suggesting a one bet on Birthright. I'm not bullish, but he's my top choice.
All right, so Mastership has been mentioned. Birthright is the suggestion for a win from Darren. And just to talk about that log for the Summer Cup, I see Mastership has been supplemented into the reckoning for the big one on the 29th of November. Race 8, last leg of the first jackpot, and also the first leg of the last double. All right, let's bring the curtain down with what should be an exciting contest to round off Betway Day at Turffontein on Sunday. That is the Betway Merit Rated 89 handicap. It's over the 1,600 meters, and a stable by their consistent standards hasn't had it all swimmingly, and that is the Clausen stable. They have a runner that's had 3 seconds in a row. And the only thing that it needs to do on Sunday, and hopefully this could be the turning point, Impact Investor, to get that head down. They've got Gavin in the saddle for the first time. And this will be a 17th outing, has certainly been very consistent. On the other side, just having a 4th outing, and this could be a very, very interesting sort. That is Buddy Boy, number 10, Sean Veal. It is the Hollywood Racing, and of course he's retained by them. We'll be having that run. Now, Canal Skater came out and subsequently won again, and that was on the poly. An exciting sort from the Canamea stable, and Buddy Boy certainly comes in with some decent form. And then you've got the reliable player, and Alec has got quite a strong hand here with the likes of Dark Silver, to name but just one. He's got the 5, One More Star stable debut, and the 8, the Playboy Bomb. I've said all I can say, Mr. Marie. It is again another one of those conundrums that you'll have to try and sort for us.
Yeah, let's just give the viewers the comment from Hollywood Racing. He was green in running over this distance at Hollywood Bets Gravel in his post-maiden effort. The stable feel that he will be ideally suited to the course. And I must say that I agree with that, because when I opened the book, I said he's a nice young horse who should have a lot more to offer. But Seanville had him in such a perfect position last time out, and he just never fired up the straights. He seemed one-paced. So for that reason, I left him out. However, he is my 4th choice because I think he's certainly going to appreciate the stand-side track. But he can be a factor here. Now, Impact Investor, the stable has gone a little bit quiet. However, their recent runners weren't beaten too far. Charming Cheetah finished close up. There was another one that finished second. Antonio Gaudi finished second during the week.
In fact, Antonio Gaudi is really wanting to smash that door down for a next winner.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, let's hope this is the one that gets the ball rolling for Robin. He's in great form. Impact Investor. He's got Gavin from Storgate number 1. He just does need to settle in running, because this horse can take a hold of the bit and over race. And if the conditions are going to be testing, he's going to compound. So let's hope he relaxes. Last time out, it was a lovely effort. Obviously, by now we'll know if Birthright's franked that form. Then we need to touch on the two Alec-led runners. Well, he's got more, like you mentioned, but the two that I give a chance in Dark Silver. What a comeback effort. The horse at the 200 looked like he was going to battle to find a place, because he was going back, and then he just found another gear. He came on stoutly in the latter stages, but he did race fresh over a mile. I don't think he's a miler, this horse. So I'm really keen to see how he's going to go second up this time round. I'll give him a chance, but he's my third choice. The horse I'm leaning towards is his stable companion, and that's number 8, the Playboy Bomber. I loved what I saw last time out. And when Diego rode him to victory, he just travels so well in his race when given a chance. 3 runs back, when Diego won on him over this very same course and distance, he was climbing all over them with 400 to go. He just needs to he needs to be timed correctly, and if Savannah can just sit and hold on to him, I think we're going to see the best of him. So I'm going 8 as the likely winner.
8, the Playboy Bomber, as the likely winner of the last. And any word for the versatile Douglas Dragon to run into the tail end of trifectas and quartets?
Absolutely. And next time out over 2,000 meters, we might be having a dip.
Okay, so maybe I've jumped the gun there. Right, so we know. The Playboy Bomber, that is the last suggestion from Mr. Maria. And thank you very, very much. And I look forward to a great weekend's racing. Doubleheader on Friday, standalone Kenilworth Saturday, and standalone at Turffontein Standside Track on Sunday.